Happy STAMPtember, everyone! It's me, Gina, from Gina K Designs, and I am so excited for today. Thank you all for joining us, both here on my YouTube channel and at Simon Says Stamp YouTube channel. Today, we are doing a deep dive into the Gina K Designs STAMPtember collaboration set. Now, I know the set's been out for about an hour now, and lots of you have already gotten it, put it in your cart, checked out. It's on its way to you, and that's super exciting. And if you've been perusing Facebook and Instagram, you have probably seen some of the most gorgeous cards by amazing designers who helped Gina K and Simon Says Stamp create beautiful inspiration for you. So we are so excited about it, and I'm going to try to inspire you with a few things today as well. But the first thing I want to do is I want to invite a very special guest to the program. And, you know, a lot of times we do these things from across the miles, but not today, because she's here with me. Hi! Heidi Crowl from Simon Says Stamp is here, and I am just so happy to see her. She and I have been up all night giggling like schoolgirls in my craft room at home, making projects and getting ready for today. So I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you to Gina and to Tom, who's here doing all of the Gina K Design things for STAMPtember. We couldn't have STAMPtember without wonderful, wonderful brands and people like Gina that all of you get excited about. And I had such a treat last night getting to be in Gina's studio, she kept making more cards. Well, we need to show this, I need to show that. So I think you guys are really in for a treat today with her showing product that she actually designed, what some of the things that you can do with it, give you some tips and tricks along the way. And thank you to all of you who are watching us live or watching us on rewatch. We still have, even though they went live an hour ago, we do still have inventory. So don't fret, don't panic. There's no reason to panic. We have inventory, but these are limited editions for STAMPtember only. So once they sell out, we will not be restocking. And I think Gina will just talk about that throughout her live today. Definitely. I can't wait to see you make live. And if anybody has questions, make sure you're chatting your questions in live because we are moderating. We will hop in and answer questions as we can. And is this the time, Gina, where you introduce Tom to the
yes, let's welcome Tom to the STAMPtember party. Hey, Tom.
Hey.
How's it going?
Welcome to STAMPtember.
Oh! A new word of the day, STAMPtember.
He throws them all at us. Thank you, Tom.
That's awesome.
Thank you to everybody. I'll get off screen so you can have your workstation. Is that okay?
You can if you want, but first I wanted to just show everybody a little bit about how this works, and then maybe you can fill them in about the different options that they have for this collaboration. They've done, Simon Says Stamp has done something really neat this year because they've given you many options to purchase this depending on what works best for you. So Tom, if you have that graphic, I'd love to show people the different ways that they can purchase this. So you can see over here on your left-hand side of the screen, I'm bad at left, I always have to do righty-tighty, lefty-loosey to remember. But you can see over there on the left-hand side of your screen, that is the entire bundle. That is the new Stay Cozy stamp set. Also, the image dies, and then also the greetings dies. Now, for some of you who maybe like fussy cutting, but you don't like fussy cutting words, you can get this set by just the stamp set and the word dies. Or if you like just the picture dies and you don't want the greeting dies because you're going to stamp greetings direct, you can buy just the stamp set and the picture dies, just the image dies. Mm-hmm. Am I right? Am I saying that right?
You're right,
Heidi?
yep.
And then for those of you who just like stamping, you can just get the stamp set only. Or you can get the whole kit and caboodle as one big bundle, which is the big picture on the left. So does that look right to you?
That's exactly right. Essentially, it's options. My favorite thing, people that work at Simon Says Stamp Period all the time, give me options because I want our customers to have options. And so basically, any way you can dream of this combination of what's in front of us today is available for you while supplies last. So if you just want the stamps, you have the stamps available for you. If you want the stamps and the greetings dies, you can get the bundle with the stamps and the greetings dies. If you'd like the stamps and just the images, to repeat what Gina said, you can also just get the stamps and the images. And then the fourth option, if you want the whole kit and caboodle, you can get the stamps, the images, and the greetings. And you can see on our website, there's 4 different ways to purchase, and those are the 4. They're available exclusively at simonsaystamp.com during STAMPtember. So it's a fun month. It's loaded with surprises, inspiration, education, exclusives, giveaways. There's been all kinds of things. We're in 13 days into STAMPtember already.
Wow.
And this is a good middle of the month. This is a really great way for us to showcase. So are there any other questions, Gina, before I get off? I want to see you create.
Okay, well, if anybody does have a question, just make sure you start your comment with the word question because that helps us see it a little bit better. And we will do the best that we can to check in with all the questions. All right.
Thank you, Gina.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So as you can see, this stamp set, I have it right here. I wanted to just point out a couple of things that you may have seen some of the amazing designers create for you already. This is a great stamp set if you like doing silhouette stamping, but I am so excited that Simon did dies because I was cutting these last night and popping some things up, and oh my gosh, what amazing depth and dimension you get when you can add those die cuts. And I'm a big fan of die cut words, but I'll tell you, I didn't get the words. I didn't get the die cut words in my designer package because they weren't all ready yet. They weren't all packaged. So I missed out on that. I'm going to highly encourage you, even though you're not going to see me use the words in my cards today, to get those word dies because the word dies can be used with any of your holiday sets that you have. And also sets that aren't holiday sets because there's a birthday greeting and there's just a stay cozy greeting. And so this set, when I designed this set, my thought process was, let's do something that will make a great holiday set, but will carry you through winter and will work for masculine cards, which some of us struggle with finding the right images for that will work for people who just love nature, that will work for, those birthday cards. And so that was my goal here, and I think we got it because of the different greetings and just the way that, although it can be Christmas, it's definitely year-round. And if you notice, the little birdhouse here has a heart, and then with the Papa Deer and the Mama Deer, I think this would be really cute for Valentine's Day to make a little winter scene and maybe have some pinks and reds in there and then have the little heart and the mama and the papa together for a Valentine's Day card. So you can mix other greetings you have in your collection with it as well. And as you can see, this is a huge die set. So it's, almost the size of this stamp set. But then if you add the greeting set in there, it's even bigger than that. So, okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to start by showing you a card project. Now, I know that a lot of the designers that have shared projects did scene cards. And I think the scene cards are fantastic that they did. So I wanted to do something a little bit different and a little bit more graphic. Okay? I'm telling you, I have to shout out Karen Hightower because this morning she posted a card in our Facebook group, and the way she created the snow on that tree just absolutely blew my mind. So make sure that you check out our Facebook group, and if you haven't joined our Facebook group, we'd love to have you over there. The name of our group is Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. You can find the group just by dropping that into the search on Facebook and join. I think you're really going to like the group, and I would highly encourage all of the amazing designers who worked on these projects to please share your posts over there too so people can be inspired. Honestly, Callie Person and Nina Marie and oh my gosh, don't let me forget anybody, Heidi, Barb Terreo, is that how you say it? Terreo. Okay, I want to say her name right. Nikki Hartz, of course, Jennifer McGuire and Kathy Zilski and Mindy Egan. Just an amazing group of cards. And as Heidi, as you think of other designers, make sure that we share that too because they are so good. All right, so I am using a die set from the Gina K Designs collection called Tags Trio, and I'm using the largest tag here because I thought I would channel my inner Tim Holtz and make a tag for you today. Now, my tags are going to be different than Tim's style because Tim's got his amazing Tim style, and I'm going to do my Gina K style, but tags are always perfect. Last minute, you need them for your gifts, for your cookies, for birthday gifts, for any of that. So I'm going to cut out the biggest tag here, and you can see that has that cute little stitching going around. It is a nice big tag, and I'm going to show you a little technique here using some masking magic. So if you don't have the masking magic comes in sheets and it also comes in strips. Now the strips come in 3 different sizes, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, and 1/8 of an inch. And I really, really like the strips because you can create really nice, quick, straight lines wherever you want. And then you can add onto, you can create designs. But then if you want our masking magic sheets, you can pick those up too and cut your own strips. So it's really up to you. I tend to use the strips a lot in my card making. And so you might want to pick those up if you're looking for anything else to add to your cart, especially because Heidi, please let me know if I'm wrong, but I heard, which is unbelievable, that Simon is offering free shipping.
That's right.
Free shipping. I mean, free shipping. Come on.
$25 orders with a coupon code. They can go to the website for details.
Okay, so $25 order with a coupon code. You can go to simonsaysstamp.com for details for that. And honestly, with all of the amazing collaborations and not wanting to miss out, to be able to order on the days that you want without worrying about incurring a shipping charge each time is so generous because I know as a company owner, shipping is not cheap. So Heidi, that is amazing. Now I'm using the 1/2 inch strips and I'm just going to put this right here, leaving some space. I might move this a little bit. I think I'm going to move it down just a little bit here. Like that, making it nice and straight. And I am using my Simon Says Stamp sticky mat. And then I'm going to do another one here to just create an opening. All right, now my tag is going to be very graphic. It is not going to be grungy at all. because you know that's not my style of card making, although I love it and I love watching you guys do that. So I'm going to take a Post-it note paper and I'm just going to put it down here to cover the bottom part of the tag, and I'm going to put it up here at the top to cover the top part of the tag. Now I've got my little opening here, and I'm going to use a couple of colors. I'm going to use some Lucky Clover, and I'm going to use some Turquoise Sea. So this is a real simple little project I wanted to make today. I'm going to start with the Turquoise Sea, and I'm going to just blend these two colors together. So I'm going to start at the top here, and mostly starting outside of my masking magic to get the bulk of that color, and then I'm going to just lightly work that color in to my opening. Okay, I know I'm really sticking this down on okay, we're good. We're good. I don't like to put too much pressure on things when it's unnecessary. All right, so hopefully you're seeing that beautiful color blend. And if you're new to Gina K Designs ink, our ink does have a smoothing agent in it, so it really does help if you're a newer crafter and you're trying to learn ink blending. Sometimes it looks a little blotchy and you walk away, run to the ladies' room, run and get your coffee, and you come back and the ink looks all smooth. And you're like, wait, it didn't look that smooth when I left. The smoothing agent in our ink really does help that. So now I'm going to use some Lucky Clover, and I'm going to bring that up from the bottom. All right, and I'm going to bring that into that Turquoise Sea, just creating a nice, easy blend. Okay. We'll do another little bit of Turquoise Sea, whatever's left here on the brush, to darken that up a little bit. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel off this Post-it paper. I can save it and use it again for sure. I really pressed hard down here. There we go. And now I'm going to peel away the masking magic and reveal that nice crisp edge on the top and the bottom. Okay, so that's just a cool little stripe going across. And then to get your project off of these sticky mats, just roll it and it will allow that to come off without damage. Now one thing, let me just clean off my tabletop here because I have some ink and I just don't want it to get anywhere that I don't want it to be. So, okay. So now one little thing that I wanted to show you, a little trick, and I probably should have done this earlier, but I'm going to cut one more tag. Whenever you have a die cut that has stitching, you've got a really pretty side, and then you have an ugly side where the stitches don't look all that good. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut a second tag, and because these tags are very symmetrical, we're just going to mount them kind of back to back, and then it's going to make the tag a little sturdier, and it's going to create a nice looking tag on the back. Now I've seen people do the backs of their tags with beautiful pattern papers too, so if you have pattern paper that matches your ink, you certainly can do that on the back as well. Just cut your pattern paper out of that same tag die, or that tag die out of that pattern paper, and then you can have beautiful pattern paper on one side and then your stamped image on the other side. So we'll just pop that out. I don't want to lose anything here. I lose stuff on my desk all the time. I don't know if you guys do too, but I also spent 20 minutes the other day looking for a pair of scissors that was in my hand. So, you know, we all do that, right? So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just take a little bit of adhesive on the back of this, and I'm going to just run out of adhesive there, but I have another one, don't worry. And then I'm just going to pop those together. And now I've got a tag that's pretty on both sides. The stitching looks good, and now the tag is a little bit more sturdy. If you want to, you can cut a third tag, and then you can cut it off here, and just seal it around the edges, and it makes the perfect gift card holder. This is a nice big tag, and it will fit your gift cards, which I happen to have one right here, a Starbucks one. So you can see, you could just make a little pocket using just the bottom of the tag by slicing it off. And then you could hang this tag on a bottle of wine or on a bag of coffee beans, and then you could give somebody the little Starbucks card or whatever you want in there as well. Okay, so now that we have that done, I am going to look for my Misty. Here it is. And then I'm going to pop this into the Misty. Now I'm going to stamp a couple of these stamps. I have my unused set right here. I'm going to put this aside. I wanted to show you a pretty one because I really beat mine up here. I've been using it like crazy, and you know, I wanted to show it to you pretty. So, and Simon is always so nice. They always send me an extra set just in case I lose something or whatever. And now I'm going to put this over here on this side of the Misty because I want to have this go off the tag a little bit. Now I want to make some room over here for the greeting. So it's just going to stamp off, and then the greeting is that I want to use is wishing you joy. So I just want to make sure I have room down there at the bottom. Great thing about clear stamps is you can always look and see. And then go in just a little bit more here. I think that'll be good. And I'm going to pick that up with the door of the Misty. Now I'm going to get some black onyx ink. Our black onyx ink is our dye ink. It dries super fast, so it's very, very easy to use for these kinds of projects, especially when you're using dye ink on dye ink. You want fast drying ink so that things don't bleed and feather. And I don't have to, you know, look at it anymore in that direction. I just have to make sure that this tag is tucked all the way down here because I do not want it to move in case I want to stamp it a second time. And with images like this that are somewhat delicate, I do like to stamp them a little more light-handed and then give them a second run. And the reason I like to do that is because when you squish your stamp too hard trying to get it dark, sometimes you can distort the image. I'd rather stamp it 2 or 3 times, make sure that it's nice and black, but none of those delicate lines are distorted at all. So I'm going to give it one more here. Make sure I've got everything. There we go. Okay. So now you can see I've got that cute little thing coming in from the side. Love that. Now I can put it back up here because I'm done stamping off of the side. I'm going to clean this stamp using my tidy towel. So if you're looking for a good way to clean your stamps, the tidy towel, I love it first of all because it's black, so it doesn't really look that bad. This is a thick towel. I don't know if you can see how thick that is, but that is a very thick towel. This is a new and improved version of our original one that we released several years ago. So this is a great thick towel that can stand the test of time. You can throw it in your washer, just don't put it in your dryer, and it is lint-free, so you don't get those little lints all over the place. I know sometimes I see this in my Facebook group where people will say, how come, you know, the ink looks feathered around the outside? And it's not feathered, it's just that they cleaned it with a baby wipe and they got lint on it. And so the lint picked up the ink and stamped lint onto their stamp. So, you know, that can happen. So a tidy towel is a great way to go. I know all of my Gina K Designs friends that are watching, who usually watch, I know you guys like the tidy towel and have good luck with it. So, okay. And thank you guys for being so helpful to each other in the chat. That really means so much to us because I know sometimes there's a question that maybe we miss, and I always see other chatters just helping and answering and directing. So that is so helpful too. So now I'm going to stamp this little deer who's so cute and looking over his shoulder back at those 2 little birds. It's like he's peeking in on a little love affair there. Okay, and then I'm going to clean that stamp, and I'm going to add my greeting. And this is just a super easy tag. And you know me with my silhouette stamps. I can't get enough of silhouette stamping. So whenever there's a silhouette stamp in the mix, it's one of those that rarely leaves my desktop. So here's the greeting. Now, if you have the greeting dies, you could pop this greeting up if you wanted to give this tag a little more interest. So you could stamp it and cut it out. Now, I want to show you just a little tip here. For those of you that get a little bit nervous about whether or not you're stamping straight, what I do is I just take the index sheet from my stamp set and I just pop it on there. Okay, and then I just go ahead and stamp the greeting onto that index sheet. So let's get that in the right position here. I think I'm going to do it upside down because this is hanging off the edge of the table, but you can just get it into position here and then line it up and then stamp it just to get a quick look. Hey, does that look straight to me? That looks straight to me. Now that you know that it's straight, you can clean that off so it doesn't ruin your stamp, your next project. And then you can go ahead and stamp it. So that's just a little quick tip for making sure that your greetings are straight, especially after you've put a ton of time into a card. And there we go. There is a cute little tag. Now I'll show you the finished one that I made last night. What I did here is I stamped all of those things. I added 3 of our little black, gold, and metallic pearls from that mix, that embellishment mix. And then I just added some gold cording from my stash. I do think this might have been even cuter with a little baker's twine, but I didn't have any baker's twine because I was making this one at home and I have very limited supplies at home. So gold cording is what I found. But see how easy that is? So easy. And imagine if it had the little pocket on the back where you could slip that gift card in. It would be so fun. You could even make a bunch of these and hang them on your Christmas tree for your kids or your grandkids to search and find their name. So that's a fun little project. Project 1. Now I am going to take high quality photos of all of these pictures, all of these cards, and I'm going to share them in our Facebook group. I'm going to share them on my YouTube channel, and I'm certainly going to pass them on to Simon Says Stamps, so if they want to share them as well, in all the places that you look for inspiration, they will be there for you so that you can copy them. And again, my projects are always pretty simple, so you don't need a whole lot of instruction, but sometimes it's good to review the video, so this video will stay up. Okay, so the next thing that I want to make, Heidi, I know I'm talking 90 miles an hour. Are there any questions that I'm missing?
People are asking about the free shipping, and so if you don't mind me hopping in for a second
love it.
while they're asking about the free shipping. So there's a coupon code on our website. If you're USA and you purchase $25 or more of products, you can get free shipping. And if you're international, you can use the code 799 and you will get $7.99 off of your shipping, which for Simon Says Stamp is the equivalent of free shipping in the USA. So it's a pretty good deal. So, and that's going to run all month long. But today's exclusive is great. Pick it up with some tidy towels, some of the tag dies. I mean, Gina's got such a great line of products. So pick up your STAMPtember and add a few things to it and get free shipping. We don't do this except for during STAMPtember.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that is amazing. That is such a great deal. Because all through STAMPtember, I mean, every single collab I've looked at and I've said, I want that. It's so cute. They're all so cute. These companies totally outdid themselves this year.
I agree.
Yeah. So, you know, you don't want to miss out, and you don't want to say, well, I'll wait until tomorrow or the next day and try to get all 3 together that I want or all 4 together. Free shipping, it doesn't matter.
And that's exactly why.
And you're going to be getting happy mail every day.
Yeah, that's exactly why we did the free shipping, because in years past we had so many people that were like, I don't want to buy and pay shipping on Monday and then find another collab on Tuesday that I really loved and pay shipping again. So we just try to make it as easy as possible for customers because it's STAMPtember and we can do something special because we have great sponsors like you.
Aww.
So we could do something extra special for people when we come together and do great things. So I'm going to step off the screen so you guys can watch Gina keep creating.
All right, so I want to show you another card that I made using that same technique. I'm not going to demonstrate this card because, I think you could just watch that tag and it's very similar, but I want to show you with a different color combination. I made this one here. This is, the colors that I used were Peach Bellini, Bubblegum Pink, Wild Lilac, Turquoise Sea, and Blue Denim. So all I did was just do a fade. I just let it sit for a minute and dry, and it dried nice and smooth and blended really well. And then I just stamped these 3 trees and then the little family of deer and did a warm winter wishes. And then I just sprinkled some sequins on there to kind of look like a little bit of snowfall. So a super easy card to make. And it's the same exact technique. I used masking magic up here, masking magic down here, and then a Post-it note just to kind of drown out the rest of the card. So I know that you've seen some gorgeous blends on the cards that a lot of the designers have shown you already, but I wanted to show you that it's kind of fun sometimes to mask off that blend and get those images stamped outside on either side of the blend. Just gives it a little bit of a graphic, kind of cool modern look. So there are the 2 silhouette style stamped projects. All right, so I'm going to show you something else here now. Let me look at my card here that I want to share. Okay, so I am going to show you a fun technique that if you're a newer stamper, this may be new to you. If you're an old school stamper, this is going to be like one of those techniques that maybe you don't even use anymore because there's so many dies that do fun things like this. But, you're going to remember and you're going to want to bring it back and say, oh, I want to do that again. So I'm going to just trim this down. Oh, and one thing I did want to mention is this card here is 3.5 inches by 4 3/4 inches, but that could be cut out with our Master Layouts 2 die set. And I am going to show that to you in my final card today. Now, I'm going to just hand trim this one down because I do always want to show you that you don't need everything to make a card, especially if you're just starting out. You can still make beautiful cards, especially if you're shopping every single day at STAMPtember, at Simon Says Stamp. You may not be able to have that die set this week, but you can still make this card. So I cut this down to the same measurement as Master Layouts 2. I'm going to take my watch off so you guys don't have to look at my blood pressure reading. Okay, now I'm going to go old school on this one. I'm just going to take a piece of cardstock here, and I am going to change my tape runner because you saw it ran out on my last project. If you don't have the Gina K Designs tape runner and you're shopping at Simon Says Stamp, I'm going to recommend you try it. I want to show you how easy it is to change the rolls. So this whole thing just comes out, and you throw it away, and then the refills come in a 2-pack, and you can just pop that refill right in, and it's ready to go. No feeding, no trying to figure out which way to go with it. Super easy to change, and that's always a blessing, especially when you're crafting and you got your hands all inky and you need some tape quick. That makes it easy. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of tape here, and I am going to pop that onto this piece of cardstock. So Heidi, jump in anytime you see a question because I have my head down.
I'm reading and I'm not seeing anything that we need to interrupt for. I like that you're showing how to refill the tape runner though, because
it's helpful. I mean, a lot of time I've had different tape runners that were a little bit complicated for me. Now that doesn't mean they're complicated. That just means I don't do well with complicated things. So that was one thing when ThermoWeb created my tape runners for me. We talked about what we wanted, and I said, it just has to be easy. All right, so I'm going to just take a piece of cardstock here, plain old piece of cardstock, and I am going to tear it. I'm going to tear it just like this. See, it's just all ridgy, doesn't matter, what it looks like. I'm going to go downhill a little bit here. Just a tear, okay? Now, what I'm going to do here with this is I'm going to start with a piece of masking magic strip. Let me find my masking magic strips. They disappeared already. here we have the Masking Magic strips. These are the 1/2-inch ones, and I'm going to create a little grounding down here at the bottom. I want to make sure that I have enough room down here to stamp my greeting. And the greeting I want to use for this one is "Have a Cozy Birthday." So, you know what? I think I can bring this down just a little bit more so we have a little bit more of what I want to show you. That'll look good. And then "Have a Cozy Birthday," because I kind of want this to overlap a little bit in here. Yeah, that'll be good. I'm going to stamp "Have a Cozy Birthday." Yeah, overlap. That's good. Okay, so I'm going to use some Lucky Clover again. And I am going to just create kind of like some grass, like a grassy area. But to protect the top of my paper, you could either use a full Masking Magic strip, or you can use some Post-it paper, Post-it note. And then I'm going to use Lucky Clover ink, and I'm going to add some grass here. Now, I don't know if I want a little bit more. I might want a little bit more. But if you want a little bit more, you can always bring it up a little bit. So I'm going to look at that and see. And here's the beauty of Masking Magic strips. They're reusable. So if you, let's say you think, I think I want this to go up a little bit higher, you can peel that off. It doesn't tear, and you can reuse it. The only thing I recommend is that you reuse it only with the same color, because if you're using different colors, sometimes the color on the Masking Magic might transfer onto your project. So we're just going to add a little bit more here. There we go. You want this to kind of look grassy, but we still want it to be very graphic, you know. So we'll give that a little bit of time to just chill and smooth out. Okay, so now I'm going to pull this off, and we've got that nice grassy straight line in there. And then I am going to get some gray ink. All right, so I'm going to use Soft Stone ink here. Soft Stone is one of my favorite color inks for a variety of things. For those of you that have followed me for a while, you know I use it a lot for grounding panels in the back and just to add a mist of color. This brush here is black. It has black on it. And I don't want it to be black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of rubbing alcohol here. This is the way I clean my stencils, and you can also clean your blending brushes with it. So I'm just going to fold that over so it's not super wet, and I'm just going to lightly rub that, and you can almost see the bristle getting a little bit lighter in there just to get some of that color off. And can you see? Now it's cleaner. The thing I like about using rubbing alcohol as opposed to water is alcohol evaporates and it dries right away. I use one blending brush for each color family. So to me, black and gray are in the same color family. But if I just used black on this and I'm trying to go with a soft mist of a color, I do need to do something, you know, to protect that. Okay, so I'm going to take one clean strip here and I'm just going to cover this up. And the only reason why I'm taking a clean one is because by accident I just crumpled that one, the other one up, and threw it away, and I don't want to pull it out of the trash right now and uncrumple it. And I'm going to put a couple little Post-it notes right down here just to cover this up. So now I'm going to create some clouds, and I want it to look like a kind of a blustery day, like a kind of a gray day. We all have those gray days, right? We want it to be like, I don't know, we just want it to be a little bit gray. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to ink, but I'm going to ink right along this line. I'm not inking up here and I'm not inking down here. I'm inking just along this line, letting the bristles just flap over the edge a little bit. It doesn't even look like much when you're doing it. You're like, is that even going to look like anything? but I promise you it will look like something. We just want to get it vibrant enough so you can see it. And this is soft stone. So I'm just letting those bristles kind of go over the edge. All right, so there we have it. You see how that looks? All right, now I'm gonna flip this over onto the other side so that my pattern is different. Because if I just did this all the way up, that wouldn't look natural. So if I flip it over and I angle it maybe just a little bit, it's gonna look a little bit different. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing. Just letting those bristles trickle over the edge of that paper, creating that look of clouds. And it's okay if it looks a little bit blotchy. This is one of those times where blotchy is good because you're trying to create this stormy kind of look, right? So now I'm going to come up here and I'm going to kind of, I don't know, flip it over here a little bit. So you can see I'm moving it around so it doesn't look too perfect and too regimented, and just kind of creating that stormy kind of sky look. Okay. And then I'm going to come down here and just, see, I don't want to do that because that's exactly the same. So I'll flip that over so it looks a little bit different. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. Just adding a little bit more of that, just so it goes all the way down and there's not a big white patch there. Okay. Now I'm going to pull all of this off. And you can see we've got this little bit of a stormy looking sky. Now, I'm gonna get my wild dandelion ink, and I'm gonna get my sweet corn ink. Now I wanted to show you there are two images here that make up the moon. We've got a circle, and then we've got kind of this little pattern in there that kind of creates the look of some craters. I just want to make this look like the moon is up there, even though this isn't really a nighttime sky. Again, I told you my projects tonight are just going to be really graphic and fun, and they're not going to be too realistic. But I'm going to wiggle this off. Let's see here. Wiggle that off, and then I'm going to pop that up here, and I'm going to pop the moon right up here, okay? So I'm going to, let's see, I might bring it down just a little bit. It's okay if there's clouds kind of in the way, because that's how it is in real life, right? And then I am going to ink that up with some some sweet corn ink. And we'll stamp that on there. Okay. There we go. Do another little coat here just to get it a hair more solid. There we go. Now, let's take a look at that. How's that looking to everybody? Looking okay? Okay, now I'm going to use the other image from the set. And I'm going to just put that in there like this. And then I'm going to use wild dandelion. Now this might not be the perfect color combination, but I think it's going to be pretty cool. Another thing we could do is if we wanted a complementary color, but we didn't want it to be too dark, let's give it a try because I've got my other sample if this doesn't work out, and I love to try things live because, you know, I'm crazy that way. But let's just pick this up, and then let's use some honey mustard on here to create a little darker version. But we're going to stamp it on a Post-it note first, and then we're going to pull it off and we're going to stamp it on the moon. Because this is a darker color, and it might be a little too dark. So we'll pop a Post-it note on there. We're going to stamp it. Oh, I want to do that again because I want a little bit darker. A little more solid. So we're going to stamp that, and then we're going to pull that off, and then we're going to stamp it again. And see, that gives us just the right color. Stamping off a color that's a little bit too dark, but it's going to work really well, gives us kind of something in between sweet corn and honey mustard. All right, so I think that's good. Good enough. How you guys doing over there on the other side of the studio?
Good. We're trying to get the link in the chat so people can buy it.
Oh.
Tom just posted under Gina's name. So if you see Gina, it's not her typing while she's creating. Tom just posted that
and
for
you know
us.
what? If you give me 1 second here, Heidi, what I can do is I can go on to that. If I can find it now, because everything is moving so fast. The chat's moving so fast. But if I can find that link, I can pin it. I'm going to do that. I can pin it. I think, Tom, you might be able to pin it too. So let's see, shop here, pin message. So now it should drop down at the top on our channel. And for our friends over at the Simon Says Stamp YouTube channel, can certainly do that as well. Okay, now we're going to add some images to this. So I want to add these trees, and I want to block off that moon there. So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to block off the moon, and it's fine if the trees go into the grass. Not a problem at all there. I just want them to look kind of straight, and I think they do. So we'll go ahead and pick that up. See, this is staying in place because I have a little bit of tape behind there, and that really helps. It's not going to bother you because you're going to end up mounting this onto a panel anyway, but that really does help keep things in place. And I'm going to use some black onyx dye ink. Let me put my glasses back on so I can see. And I've got a little something there, but hopefully that won't transfer anything. Okay.
Am I allowed to ask the audience a question, Gina, while you're stamping?
I would love it.
How many of you who are chatting with us today use reading glasses when you craft? I was with you when I bought my very first pair of reading glasses, Gina.
I remember.
And I lose them, and I leave them in the other room, and then I go to craft, and I can't see. Am I alone in this world with this whole new reading glass thing that's happening? Because it's just convenient, but man, it makes all the difference.
Hey, I've got like 20 years on you for reading glasses. And, you know, to some of us out there, to our defense, some of us wear contact lenses. And the stronger our contact lenses are, the harder it is to see up close. So we won't say that we're old. We'll just say that we've created a vision problem because we're wearing contact lenses. So everybody's saying me, though. All right, now I'm going to pop this little deer right here, our little female deer, our doe. Get her little feet right there onto the grass. That's a great question because everybody is agreeing.
Karen Hightower said she has 10 pairs.
Well, she's smart because we lose them all the time. Oh my gosh, I run over mine with the car because they fell out of my purse while I was dragging all my stuff into the car. And yeah. 10 pairs or not. Hey, you know, you leave them all around the house, then you never have to worry about it. Okay. Costco, there you go. There you go. All right, so I'm going to put this Have a Cozy Birthday right down here. So you can see, even though this set could be a Christmas set or a holiday set, it's also a great birthday set for somebody that just loves nature. So we're going to pop this right in here. Have a Cozy Birthday. And this card will be ready to be mounted onto a card base. There we go. Have a Cozy Birthday. So let's take a look at that. I really like this color combination for the moon here. And you know what's neat about this technique is this could be a beautiful place that has mountains where in the valley it's green and up in the mountains it's snowy. So it can look like mountains, it can look like clouds, it can look like just a beautiful winter destination. If you want, you could always do this in that light gray as well, and then that would look more like snow. And let me show you just the finished card. Here I made another one. I used the wild dandelion up here, but I like this honey mustard better. So for this one, all I did was mount this onto a black panel and then onto a stormy sky card base. So isn't that fun? Yeah, the greetings are really fun in this card. They are not too feminine, not too masculine. They work for just about anybody. And all winter long, you can tell people to have a cozy birthday. I have a winter birthday, so it would be perfect for me, you know, if anybody's sending me a card. Okay,
February.
so that is my third project here. Now I want to make one more project for you, and we're going to do a little bit of die cutting because I want to show you how spectacular the dies look when they're cut out. I mean, they are so pretty. So I am going to just clean this up here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quarter sheet of white cardstock. Let me find that. Here we go. I've got a quarter sheet of white cardstock here. Okay. And then I'm going to get that piece of cardstock again that I was working on. And I'm going to put a little bit of tape here right on the back. Now we're going to create a very snowy scene here. I don't know, I have a little ink on there, but I think I'm going to be okay because I'm going to be able to cut past that. Alrighty, so remember this one? I'm going to use this. No, I'm not going to use this. I'm going to use this, and then I'm going to grab this one that I had made earlier. Okay. I'm going to take my trusty Simon Says Stamp scissors here, and I am going to cut what would look kind of like a snow hill. Now, many of you have dies in your collection that do this. Gina K Designs has Master Layouts 16 that has a curve in it. We've got Master Layouts 6, which has a curve in it. But if you want to just hand cut it, you can certainly do that as well. Okay, so I think I'm going to do this here, like this. And then I'm going to go back to this soft stone. Now this is my favorite card because it's just black, gray, and white. And sometimes, as much as I love color, and you guys know I love color, sometimes this is just all you need. So I'm going to do the same thing here, and I'm going to create the look of snow just by going along the edge here. I want it to be, you know, vibrant enough that we can see it. Just going right along the edge.
Cindy Smith just asked a good question. Is this stamp set one she might already have? No, Cindy, this is exclusive for STAMPtember. It's a Gina K exclusive, only available during STAMPtember while supplies last. So once these stamps and dies sell out, they're going to be gone for good. It's something special to celebrate STAMPtember, something fun and magical for us all to do together. Kind of like watching Gina blend. Magical.
All right, so we've created that little bit of a snow hill. We can even create another one too. If you want, you can kind of add a little bit more down here. Some of it's going to get cut off, but we can add another one if you want a little more. Let's go ahead and do that. I didn't re-ink the brush, but you can see that just gives us a little bit more like some snow banks in there. Now I'm going to take this again, and now I'm going to create those clouds like it's a cloudy, snowy day. The snowstorm is coming, and I'm going to just get right in there and do the same thing again, right along the edge. It's just such a magical thing to use a piece of torn paper this way. Torn cardstock. I do use a little bit of a heavier weight. I use some of our colored cardstock for this because I do want this to, you know, be rigid. I don't want it to be too flimsy. So I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to do another one of those.
Question from Bonnie. Do you have an ink color that would be similar to khaki or light craft? Lighter than the piece of paper you're working on, but same tone.
Yes, it's called Sandy Beach, and it is a fantastic color. It is definitely lighter than craft, but it is in the craft family. I think you will love that color. And it's also great for no-line Copic coloring, too. because you can see it, which is always my problem with no line coloring with some of the inks out there. So there we go. We've created a little bit more. It could be snow, it could be clouds, it could be mountains in the background. Doing the same thing, letting those bristles just kind of trickle over the edge. And we're flipping it again one more time. Now I'm going to cut this out using master layouts too, but I'm going to do all my die cutting at once, so I'm going to stamp a little bit first. But that's going to give us that just snowy look. See how easy that is? It's so easy. Okay, so now I need one more piece of white cardstock, and I think I might need to cut one, so bear with me a second. That's not what I want. That was too heavy. I need a lightweight white cardstock. So I'm using our layering weight white. We do have a heavy base weight white as well, which is great for card bases or tags. If you want them more rigid, you can pick that up. But our layering weight is great for any kind of die cutting you might want to do, stamping, you know, anything that's not trying to hold your card up. It's great. And it's less expensive because it's not as thick. So I'm going to take a little bit of this alcohol and I'm just going to clean off my fingers because I already feel myself getting ready to make a disastrous mess here. Okay, now let me get the Misty again. I'm going to stamp this tree image, this open branchy tree here. Make sure that's in place. You know what? I might do that same thing. Put some tape on there to hold it in place so I can stamp more than once. So I'm going to start by stamping this. And I'm going to stamp it with black onyx. Like I said, this is going to be a very graphic card. And one of the things I have to say about the stamps that Simon Says Stamp has manufactured, they stamp really nicely right out of the package. Kudos, Heidi. They're beautiful stamps.
Thank you. Made in the USA.
Made in the USA. Yes, ma'am. And then I'm going to stamp this a couple times because, again, I don't like to press too hard because I want all the details to stay intact. And you can see how thin and branchy these are. So I'm trying not to, like, to overstamp, to like squish everything out. Okay, that looks good to me. I could do it one more time. Why not? I think I was bad at cleaning this last night after I made this card. Heidi and I were up. I was making cards and Heidi was making me laugh, and we were just up, and I don't think I did a good job of cleaning my set at the end of the night when we finally thought it would be time to go to sleep because we had to get up early and get ready.
Yeah, and even Tom made homemade pizza.
He did.
There was a lot of making last night.
Yes, Tom showed us part of his artistic skills by making homemade pizza. It was so good.
There was no wine last night, though, Gina.
No, there wasn't
we need to
any
have
wine.
A little bit of wine to celebrate September tonight.
We will definitely do that. Yes, we're actually going out tonight to my daughter Alicia's film premiere. So I can't wait for that too. She got into a film festival here in the Milwaukee area. So we're going to go do that later. Okay, so again with black onyx, I'm going to stamp these 3 deer, my little family of deer. And we're going to stamp those. Isn't it funny, and I'm sure a lot of you have experienced this, whether it's in real life or on the internet, how all the relationships that you've made in the Facebook groups, maybe you've gone to events or you've done online events and you've just made these friendships with people that live, gosh, well across the country from you, yet they'd be the kind of people, and it's so funny because there's so much stranger danger on the internet, but if my kid was in trouble, I wouldn't have a problem telling them to go and get in the car with any of the 46,000 members of my Facebook group, because I know they're all fantastic people. You know, it's amazing how wonderful this industry is and it brings people together. And I'm so grateful, Heidi, because this industry brought you and I together. So it's truly a blessing.
Grateful too. Another connection made by Jennifer McGuire.
Always. Yes, she is the connector. Okay, so now I've got some tape back here that I really don't want to stick to my die cutting machine. So I could do one of two things. I could either take a mono sand eraser and I could erase this tape off. You see how that's coming off? It's just going to come off like that. Or I could take something like the embossing magic pad or any powder tool that you have. Simon has a great powder tool. And you can just powder that up. And that takes the sticky away, so it's not as sticky. This tape also is really good because it'll rub off. See how that's just rubbing off with your finger? Even if you don't have a mono sand eraser, if you get that powder tool on there, you can rub that off, and now it's not going to stick to my die cutting machine as badly when I go ahead and cut this out.
The power of Gina going live. Do you know you sold out of the tape runner refills on your website and our website?
Oh my goodness.
But the tape runners are still available.
Okay, good.
The next to go is probably going to be that mono eraser now that you use that. I love the power of Gina.
Well, you know, it's important that we have the tools that we need. So, sometimes it's not until you see something being used live that you think, yes, I needed that last night. I'm going to get it right now. All right, so I actually have my die set put on a magnet because I love magnets. And I am going to cut this tree out with this tree die. So this is, I have to say, I don't know who did this die for you, but they did a fantastic job. I just sent in the images, and Simon says Stamp decided to add the die set. And I thought, wow, you know, it's just going to cut the outside of the tree out. No, no, no. They made it so it cuts all the details out of the tree, which in my book makes this die unbelievably valuable. I forgot I was using my magnetic mat, so I don't need that masking magic. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. And look at the way this tree cuts. Oh, this is so cool. Look at this. All right. I'm going to poke all this out here. It's delicate. But look at all of that. Oh, these dies cut so nicely. Again, kudos, but look. The little tree trunks are separate. It's not just one big die going around the outside. So you can see that this is going to look so cool popped up onto this. It's going to be raised and we're going to see the shadow behind it. So it's almost going to feel more like a shadow box. All right, now I'm going to cut out a couple more deer here. I'm making a deer family because I want to use the greeting "Stay Cozy." And what's more cozy than the little mom and dad and baby deer all together? So
Lori wanted to know if there's a word of the day describing cheaters. The word cheaters and like cheater glasses and
oh.
So
well, come on in, Tom. Come on in.
Something just hit me.
All right, come on in. There he is. You actually have a word of the day, a magical word of the day. I love it.
So, so a cheater for like cheater glasses or cheating in crafting. How about hackccessories?
Hackccessories?
Hackccessories, word of the day.
Is that like literally in the dictionary?
Back to the disc.
That's in Tom's dictionary. That's not in any real dictionary.
I mean, I think you could petition it. Didn't Rachel Ray do EVOO, extra virgin olive oil? I mean, Tom could write something into Encyclopedia Britannica.
Oh my gosh, that is very funny. I love it. And
People
then
buy stars and put their names on them.
that is, yeah, maybe we should. Let's give it a try. I want to point this out to you too. See how that little part underneath the deer cut out too? I love that. Sorry, but come on, all the crafters that are in the chat right now, we get jazzed over those kinds of details that you put into this die set. Oh, the little, oh, sorry.
Well, it's because we have a team at Simon, much like Gina and her team, we have a team of crafters who are making products for other crafters. So we know that little detail in between the branches and to have the stumps be separate and for the deer to have their little legs, we understand how eye-popping that can be, and the details in our card making really stand out. So because we are crafters making products for other crafters, and you're the same way, Gina. You're obviously, look at you, you're a crafter, and
I
you
am a
designed
crafter.
These products too.
I am a crafter, so I can't help but notice those details. So great. All right, so I am going to use the mono sand eraser again to get rid of that glue on the back. And then I'm still laughing at Hackccessories. Gosh, I need quite a few.
That?
Tom, do you know how to spell that? I think he's thinking over there. Okay, so I am gonna. I don't know why I put the die cutting machine away. I was just swayed away by the Hackccessories, and I'm gonna use Master Layouts 2. So Master Layouts 2, for those of you that are new to our Master Layouts series, and Simon carries our entire series, these are mix and match dies that work together. They build upon each other, and you can mix and match different sets together to create easy card layouts and create nice shadow layers for behind your cards. Now, I know a lot of people struggle when they're trying to cut out that perfect little layer that goes around the back. This will make your life so much easier using our Master Layouts. So I'm using the stitch die for Master Layouts 2. I'm going to feed this through. Okay. It's so cool because I'm getting to see some new people that I know are coming in from Simon's YouTube channel, and I just love seeing you all because I know so many of you and I know your beautiful work, and it's really exciting for me to see you joining me here today. Also a little intimidating because there's a lot of really good crafty people out there. Okay, so I cut that out using Master Layouts 2, and you can see I've got that little bit of stitching going around the outside. Now I'm going to cut a black piece of cardstock using the plain die from Master Layouts 2. And this is going to give me that little black shadow layer that's going to be so eye appealing when I layer this together. It's going to accent all of that beautiful, the black images that I have on there. Let's see if I can find a pre-cut piece of black. I don't think I have one. So let me cut one real quick off screen. Don't go away. I'll be right back. Okay. So I've got a piece of cardstock here. I'm just going to cut it. I'm going to put it on an angle because it's going to go through the machine a little bit easier that way. And let's go. Let it rip. Okay, there we go. And now let me show you what those look like together. So I am going to get rid of my die cutting machine though, so give me a second. I'm going to get it off the table since I won't be needing it anymore. I want to get it out of the way. Okay, so I've got this panel here, and then I've got this panel here. And then I am going to need a gray card base. And I don't know if I have any. Oh, I do. I have the gray that I want. I want to use Stormy Sky for this, so we'll cut that in just a little bit. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to layer these. Look how dirty I am from all my inking. I'm going to layer these two panels together. This is live, so, you know, can't edit anything out. Can't go wash my hands. It's all got to work. It's a little stressful. Okay, so look at that now. See how that little black layer just makes everything pop, right? So now I'm going to use some foam squares. I've got my fantastic Simon Says Stamp scissors, and I'm going to cut these foam squares in half. These are our 1/4 inch foam squares, but I'm going to cut them a little bit smaller than in half. And now I'm going to pop up this tree by using these little half foam squares. Now this might take a hot minute, so don't go away because you got to see the end results. This is really my favorite card that I've made. Just because it's so graphic and fun, and it's so neat to just have all these different looks. And please check out all of the designers' cards too, because there's so much inspiration and different styles of card making that is going on with this set that you're going to have so many ideas. I'm telling you, this set is not going to leave your workspace. You're going to be using it a lot. And again, every STAMPtember so far, I've done a very dedicated holiday set. And I asked Heidi this time if she would mind if I did something that would still be able to be used for the holidays, but would have a little bit of a longer lifespan for customers to be able to use it throughout the year. And Heidi says what she always says, you can do whatever you want. She's so gracious, but you know, I was really hoping that this would work well for people. And after seeing what those designers did, oh my goodness, please check out every single one of them because they are rock stars. And then it's just fun to know that you can create this winter scene and turn it into a birthday card, turn it into a masculine card. I mean, what about the hunter in your life or the nature lover in your life? This could be done in the summertime. There are deer and pine trees in the summer. So it's one of those really versatile all-around sets. And if you have it in you, I highly recommend getting the dies because as you start to craft and as you start to see more cards coming out as people get their sets, you know the people that buy those dies are going to be showing you great ways to use them. So if they're still available, I would grab them before they sell out. So you can see I am really going to town here on these foam squares, but I want to make sure that everything is going to be popped up and not sink. Now you can see already, if you look at this card closely, see the shadow that just drops behind there? You can just see that it's popped up. It just looks different because it's popped up. But with this nice gray background, you don't even really notice the white outline. And if you do notice it a little bit, it feels like snow. It just feels cool, a chilly look. All right, so I'm going to hold the tweezer in my hand like I was going to use it to take these off, and then I'm not because I don't know how to do that. I see a lot of the designers in their videos using their tool to gently... Kathy Zilski is great at this. Mindy Egan's great at this. They use their fingernails as jewels, not tools. And mine, I've said this before, you know, they're like Bob Vila, This Old House, Elegant, and I'm like Tim the Toolman Taylor. Oh,
We love you, Gina.
I love you,
not
Heidi.
Tim the Toolman Taylor.
yeah, I am. Oh. Okay. It's okay, though. We got to have our Tim the Toolman Taylor in there, too.
I respectfully disagree. You and your dainty hands.
All right, so now I am going to use it for this, though, because I do like to kind of position things with this. But, man, this die is amazing. I can't believe it cuts it out like this. Seriously, look at that. Isn't that cool? All right, we'll just get this first one where we want it. Let me just take a peek at my sample because I need to cheat just a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to do one side of this, and then I'm going to come in with the other side. There we go. Oh, look at that. Isn't that so pretty?
Yay!
Oh, it's beautiful. Now, these will be a lot easier, but I'm going to make a cute little family cuddling. A little family of deer.
I have a confession to make.
What's your confession?
My least favorite cards to make are usually masculine cards. And I think it's just because I struggle with them.
Yeah.
I'm not always... I like all these bright colors, but man, this set makes masculine cards fun to make. I mean, the grays and the browns even are really cool. They're like so sleek and on trend. But also the graphic details of the products that you have, like even the deer, is just, it can be masculine or feminine, but this is not something that I would have trouble creating with.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I mean, that is really cool. Okay, so for this one, I cut a different deer. I'll show you my other card where I cut the other buck. But this one is cute because it's like the dad is like looking back at the mom, and then we're gonna tuck the baby in between and a little bit in front of the mom like that, so that they're kind of cuddled together. They're cozy together, and dad's looking at the baby. Oh, it's so cute. Okay, so we'll get this one over here, mama, right there, and then baby. We don't need too much foam square action for this, just enough to get him in place. That might not even be a good spot. I am going to just test it out here. Nope, I'm going to do less, because most of this little guy is going to be attached to his mom. So let's put him in position so we can see where to put the foam square. Okay. That's good. We'll put the foam square just along his butt here. And then we'll just put a little tape up here, because he's going to be pressed up against his mom there. And then we'll just tuck him in so that he's staying cozy with his mama. Okay. Isn't that cute, the little family? They're so cute. Okay, and now I'm going to cut a piece of this Stormy Sky cardstock. And let me get my score, buddy. So that was just 8.5 by 11-inch cardstock, cut at 5.5 by 8.5, and then we're going to score this at 4.25. There we go. And we'll flatten that out. And then we'll pop this right on top. I feel like this is the perfect color cardstock for this card.
What's the name of the gray?
This is Stormy Sky. And I feel like it's perfect because we've got kind of a stormy, snowy looking sky out there. And then once that's in place, where'd my Misty go? Oh, here it is. Everything just goes everywhere when I'm making a card. We're just going to put the whole card in there, and we're going to hope for the best. And where'd the stamp set go? Heidi, I lost the stamp set. Oh, here it is. Okay. So we're going to do Stay Cozy because I feel like this is just a very cozy little family picture. So we're going to do Stay Cozy right there. And the quality of these stamps is so good. And I hope you like this font style that I did. I feel like, again, it is very, not too masculine, not too feminine, but certainly works for so many things. So I'm gonna leave this card at that, and I'm gonna show you the sample that I made last night just so that you can get an idea of what it looks like when you add embellishments. So I added a whole bunch of micro disco ball sequins. They are our tiny little disco ball sequins, and you can see them in there. And that just gives a little bit of a snowy feel to it. And you can see I used the buck that's looking straight at you here, and this one I used the one that's kind of looking back at his baby. So you can do either style card, but I just think that's so cute. Of course, Stay Cozy. The three of them are all kind of cozy together, but you could easily turn this into a winter birthday card by using the winter birthday greeting that's on here. Have a cozy birthday, especially with the three of them together. You could turn it into a holiday card by adding wishing you joy or wishing you a peaceful holiday season. So many ways to use this set. Let me pull them out so you can see what we've made. We have this gray one here. This one here that has a little bit more bright color. I'm just pushing all the stuff out of the way. We have this fun little tag. And then, where's that last card that I made with? It's here. Just give me a second. I'll find it. It's here. Yeah, there it is with something smashed on top of it. And here we go. There's that one too. So a whole bunch of ideas for you, a whole bunch more ideas after all of those amazing designers shared everything on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube today. But here are just 4 more ideas for using the Stay Cozy Stamp and Die Gina K Designs collaboration with Simon Says Stamp for STAMPtember. So what do you think, Heidi?
I love it. I love all the inspiration. I love the tag in addition to the cards. There's so many things you can do with these stamps and these dies. And I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping before we sign off. Yeah. So I've noticed in the chat, people were asking about how to get them, which there's a link in Gina's chat. And if you're watching on the Simon YouTube, it's at the very top of our chat pinned as well. If you go to Simon Says Stamp website, it's the only place that you can buy these special STAMPtember collaborations by Gina. And if you search Gina or STAMPtember, it will come up. It's also on our storefront. They are available as the stamps only, or the stamps with all the dies, or the stamps with the greetings dies, or the stamps with the image dies. They're available every which way, but it is a limited supply. And as you guys can probably guess, they're selling very quickly. I think that's in part to Gina's great designs today.
Thank you.
And as well as if you go to social media and search STAMPtember 2024, that hashtag STAMPtember 2024, you'll see lots of inspiration using these. If you go to our YouTube channel and our Instagram and our Facebook, you'll see lots of inspiration. Gina mentioned a lot of the designers who are actually, a lot of them are here today. Kathy Zilski, Barbara Terrio, Nina Marie Trapani, Sherry Carroll,
So Callie.
Callie, Jennifer McGuire.
Yep.
A lot of people are using these and bringing these to life. And that's intention to inspire you all to different ways that you can use the same product. It's really, I think that's one of my favorite parts of STAMPtember is when we all have the same thing, but we make different things out of it, how that creativity happens. So that's fun. The other thing I see people talking about in the chat that I just want to talk about for housekeeping is the free shipping code. So it's FRSHP. It's on the front of our website. It's $25 off any USA. It's free shipping for any USA order that's $25 or over. And if you're international, Canada or anywhere else in the world, we will happily ship to you. We have all kinds of Gina K products that we can send with your STAMPtember collaboration and other brands as well. And you can save on shipping by using the code 799, and that's good for $7.99 off of any international order. Now, this is only during STAMPtember. We don't do this very often, but it's for you so that you can get in on all of this excitement. It's something special. We like to do fun surprises for everybody during STAMPtember. And I think, Tom, were there any other questions in the chat that we didn't get to that people might want to have an answer to before we bid adieu?
I think that about covers it. Yeah, there
Okay.
may be some questions about what might or might not be available. But stock is always difficult to talk about.
Yeah, it's a moving target, but definitely head over to the website and check.
It's available right now.
Yeah, yeah. And then
Going fast.
And let's just put that graphic up one more time so people understand the different ways that they can purchase this. So in
Good idea.
Tom will put up the graphic here. When you see everything that's on the left is the whole kit and caboodle. That is the stamp set, that is the image die pack, and that is the greeting die pack. So if you want the whole thing, that is a product that's available on the website. If you are a stamp set only kind of crafter, you can buy just the stamp set that you can see on the right-hand side up at the top. There are also 2 other bundles available where you can get that stamp set and just the greeting dies, or you can get the stamp set and just the image dies. So 4 different ways for you to purchase this depending on what works best for you and your craft room and your budget and your situation. So I love that you did this, Heidi, because it gives people so many options. But my favorite option is all of it, and I want my word dies. So
I love we will get the word dies to you. I love the font that you used for these words. And I might have overcomplicated it maybe a little bit by having 4 different options, but I love options, and I hope that you guys feel good about being able to purchase lots of different ways. They're all going quickly, so if you're watching this on rewatch, I hope there are still some available for you. This is Friday, September 13th. Maybe we'll have some later today and tomorrow. They're all available at Simon Says Stamp. And I can't thank you enough, Gina, not just for sponsoring STAMPtember, but for making it so much fun and inviting me here into your studio to be part of your family. It's such an honor. As I think you guys can imagine, we watch Gina all the time do her Stampin' Chats. Gina, do you want to remind everybody when we can see your Stampin' Chats before we say goodbye to everybody? What days and times?
Well, our next time that Tom and I will be live is going to be next Thursday at noon Central Time, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. And normally we go live twice a week on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Central and on Thursdays for our Crafternoon Live at noon Central Time. So we hope that you'll head over to our YouTube channel also, if you're watching on Simon's channel, and subscribe to us. We'll show you how to do that. Also, if you like this video, no matter which channel you're watching, we hope that you will click the like button and then hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss another video. And if you're watching on my channel, head over to Simon Says Stamp's YouTube channel, because they've got inspiration over there and they're going to show you all kinds of fun things for every single day throughout STAMPtember. So.
Oh, and have a great weekend.
Yes.
Everybody have a great weekend. I hope you get to stamp and craft. And if you've ordered these, we'll be shipping them as soon as possible and get them in your hot hands. So thank you. Thank you to everybody for joining us all over the world. This is super fun.
It was so much fun. And Tom and I will see you next Thursday for another Stampin' Chat Live. And in the meantime, you guys stay safe and healthy. We love you all so very much. And we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Tom.